I just checked my student loans because I needed to get the information to someone, and what the f 80,000.
80K
Paying for 10
years.
Last year, I paid 6,000 lump sum because that's really the only way to get it low. That took it down to 76,000 after I'd been paying for 9 years. The grand total is I have paid $120,000.
50% more.
I still owe 76. How the is this possible?
Student loans are literally one of the most nefarious things we've ever created. Like they truly are absolutely horrific. And I get it. I get that people are going to argue, well, hang on, you signed up for it. Yeah, you signed up for it, but you were also 17 and your brain was literally not fully formed. And I have more of an issue with college, knowing that they're putting this financial debt on people, knowing that their brains aren't formed, they're dumb kids, and then they're more than willing to give them degrees that are absolutely useless. So I blame colleges more than anyone offering this service that they have to know is BS. I don't necessarily agree, actually not necessarily, I don't agree with student loan forgiveness. I don't agree with that because to me that doesn't fix the issue. If we do student loan forgiveness, that means colleges get to keep like prancing on doing what they're doing. So to me, if you have an issue, you have to go to the source of the issue to fix it. So if we just are here like, no, like no one has to pay student debt anymore, that doesn't fix the problem. So if anything, this won't just continue, it'll actually grow at an exponential rate and continue to get worse and worse and worse. So I'm not here saying like student loan forgiveness should be forgiven. No, I don't think that's the fix either. I think once again, you go to the root of the issue and you look at the colleges who, if you ask me, they're not doing anything illegal, but they're doing something highly immoral. You should not be borderline tricking children, 17-year-olds, into your service where you know that just the math of the degree you're giving them and the going rate of that income for that degree will never, literally mathematically, never pay off their interest. So they're offering all these trash degrees and are more than willing to take your money in the form of like the loan you had to get, and then they kick you out 4 years later and they're like, yo, thanks for the money, see you later. It's bull. It's absolute bullshit, because that means all taxpayers are paying the tab. So I get that it's for federal student loans. And how do you forgive student federal loans, like federal student loans? You do it with all taxpayers' dollars. That's bullshit, because not everyone goes to college. It'd be one thing if it was a service we all went to, but what about people that chose to go to the military, chose to go to vo-tech school, chose to become an entrepreneur? There is no reason that everyone should take on the financial burden of a select few. That's not fair. If you're going to do it that way, you have to look at the average amount and you have to give that to everyone. Every person who decided to go to the military, vo-tech school, become an entrepreneur. Like, why are we putting college at the precedent above everyone else? Why is going to college the best decision? And we're not forgiving it if you go to a tech school. We're not forgiving it if you started a business. We're not like, why college? Why are we arbitrarily picking that one? That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. I will, like, it to me, why are we picking and choosing winners here? If you are picking to forgive the debt, a student debt, why are those kids now the winners? Why not the person who, like I said, started their own business, decided to be a carpenter, decided to be a mechanic? The government should not be in the game of picking winners and losers. They shouldn't be. But also, I can have that thought and not, like, I still think that it's messed up. And once again, I think the government should use their power and go to the colleges and be like, what you're doing is bullshit. Without a doubt, I don't agree with colleges are doing, but it's not fair to all the other people. It's bullshit. And whatever, you could be like, well, it's fair, not whatever. People, like, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you get unlucky, and that's okay. Like, whatever. Sometimes people, like, it's weird when you're talking about like the philosophical argument of fair or not fair, because that's normalizing it. And some people, you're just born into situations, and that's okay. I hear that. A better way for me to state that is you should not be using everyone's tax dollars to benefit a select group. And really, they're only doing it to buy votes. Like, let's be honest. The government is not sitting there running polls and Excel sheets and collecting data and saying, oh, college is the biggest burden. We're going to fix this because it'll bring our nation to the next level. No, they know on average that that's a younger voting bloc. So if they forgive their debt now, they're basically buying their vote. So like whatever side of the political aisle, whatever administration forgives debt, they're not doing it for moral reasoning. They're not doing it for the betterment of the nation. They're doing it to buy that group's, they want the millennial Gen Z voting bloc. You have to ask yourself, if you're going to do it with college debt, why not do it with medical debt? I mean, I would argue that medical debt is more random than college debt. No one's arbitrarily signing up saying, I love medical debt, give me more of that. No, medical debt, if anything, is more like, let's just call it like unlucky, whatever, developments in your life. So why is our government hell-bent on forgiving student debt and not medical debt? And the answer is pretty simple. It's because the average age of the person who has medical debt is considerably older than the average age of the person who has student debt. So if you're going to spend money, if you're going to spend your taxpayer dollars, you want to buy a cohort that's going to be voting for longer. It's just buying a voting block. Like, that's all it is. It's not some big brain science.